You think this has the potential to be your last year in Kansas City?
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely does, without a doubt. And I only say that because that was exactly my mindset when I got traded here was no different. Like this could be my only year here, right? I just think you become a veteran. Structurally, the contracts don't, the guarantees are less, and that's just the reality, right? Like you got to prove yourself year in and year out. And if you can't get the job done, every team's going to go try to find somebody else that can, right? I mean, that's the reality of the deal. I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, that's the thing, right? And you cease to be this developmental project, a rookie guy that's on a rookie contract that maybe has years to grow. You're a veteran. You're expected to perform and play at a certain level. And if you don't, like the team, like they're not just going to keep going, right? They're going to try and find somebody else that can. And so, no different this year than every year. I mean, that's just been the way it is. And so I don't think that's a bad thing either, necessarily. I mean, I think every player, I guess, would love to say they'd have a ton of guarantee, but I mean, that's it, right? I mean, you're going year to year. I mean, this will be my 13th year in the league, so. And that's the nature of the business at this point anyway.
The Chiefs drafted a quarterback in the first round, and the quarterback's already said how much he appreciates how you've already embraced him. But, the Chiefs obviously could have used that first round pick in a different way for a different position that could have immediately come in this coming season, been a starter, immediately contributed. And when considering the expectations are higher for this coming season, yet there haven't been talent additions that will make an obvious improvement to the team this coming season.
No question.
How much do you struggle then with a first-round draft pick like that?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, I knew we were potentially going to take a quarterback. We hadn't really spent a lot of draft capital on a quarterback since I've been here. And so definitely knew it was a possibility. Like you said, though, I had a lot of expectations. For us, we have a lot of expectations, and it's for winning now, right? Like win now, and we got this window of opportunity, and let's take advantage. And here was a draft pick that potentially maybe could have contributed. Who now I'm hoping sits for a while,
Sure.
Like that's the reality of it. So like it's a tough pill to swallow a little bit. Man, we could have added this or this position or this player, but I do think. Regardless, for one, I mean, it's out of our control, right? I mean, that's not our job. We're not personnel guys. We don't get paid to do that. We get paid to go out there and execute plays and win games. And then the other thing, and I truly believe this, I think sometimes those best moves are the ones you don't make, right? And sometimes the biggest moves were us just bringing guys back, right? I do think the bulk of our team is back, and that's the reality. As flashy as draft picks are, the reality of them helping out year one anyway, is not necessarily the case. That's not the reality. So I mean, I think we got everything we want in front of us. And like I said, obviously it's a different dynamic with Patrick on board, and that's fine. And our job to kind of go out and get it done.
I have a clip I want to play for you.
Yeah.
I don't know him or anyone else anything other than, in my opinion, being a nice guy and being thoughtful and honest. But I don't have to give him any insights to what I do or don't do. Nowhere does it say that you have to take that guy under your wing and teach him the ropes. You don't have to do anything but win ball games for whoever it is you're the starting quarterback for. Ultimately, that's what keeps you around or doesn't.
Right.
That's the bottom. Whether or not you take a guy under your wing means really nothing.
So I'm curious to get your perspective on that, because, I mean, you've handled it in a completely different way. I mean, both with the 49ers, I mean, you went out of your way to mentor the backup and then starting quarterback, and I mean, here you're already doing the same thing. So what's your perspective?
It's similar, I think, to what Brett says. I do think of it like slightly different. My job is to go play and play well and help us win, flat out. I mean, that's my job. I owe that to my teammates, right, to everybody involved with the team. I owe that. That's my end. That's being accountable. I do though a little bit. I'm not gonna go out of my way to be somebody I'm not, if that makes sense, right? I think all those things I went through when I was trying to do that, when I was trying to please people or like trying to, like that's not who I am. And at this point, I'm just gonna be who I'm gonna be. And a little bit, you know, I'm the son of an educator. If something comes up with Patrick that I see and I wanna say, I'm certainly not gonna bite my tongue and say it, and not say it, sorry. And if it's there with Tyler Bray too, I'm gonna say it, right? Like that's just the way I operate, and that's the way I've operated with, and Andy knows that. I mean, he's in the quarterback room every day. And so he sees the way I am. And that's how I go. And certainly I've been through a lot and learned through a lot. And man, if I can help these guys not go through some of that, I certainly don't wish any of that stuff on them. And so I'm gonna say it. And so
and that's what people really respect about you too. I mean, like, because when you were with San Francisco and you had every reason to be unhelpful when it came to not supporting and being a mentor to Colin Kaepernick with everything going on. I mean, even Coach Harbaugh came out and said, you're being more of a coach to him than he is. So, I mean. Yeah, and a little bit too, right? I think like all relationships are unique, and if I'm a firm believer in life, right? Like if you show respect, I think you get respect, right? Like just with anybody. And being respectful, and like no different with Colin, right? Like I know he's a polarizing guy now, and there's a lot gone on since I left there, but Colin and I got along great. He was always really, really respectful, right? Like he was always a really nice guy. So like he didn't, I mean, you get what you a little bit deserve, I think. And so, and thus far with Patrick, no different, right? I mean, he's a young kid coming in. I remember being there, right? So yeah, like you said, I'm just gonna be, I still think like keep that same mentality, right? My job is to go win games. And if you know, certainly I see something, I'm not gonna hesitate to say it or show it with these young guys. I just don't think that's the way you like live life. So the Chiefs draft a quarterback in the first round of the 2017 NFL draft. The pick could have been used at another position for a player to immediately come in and start. Given that, like, how do you go about explaining a decision like that to the team?
Yeah, so I always do what I think is best for the Chiefs, number one. All the players know that. That's part of the business. The reality is that Alex isn't getting any younger, right? Same way. I'm not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger. That doesn't mean he can't go on, continue to have a great career. So that's where his focus is. He's far enough along in it to where, okay, I know what you had to do. You know, I'm not getting any younger, but go watch what I'm gonna do right now. I mean, and so that's how we roll, and that's the name of this league. It's not a personal thing, or that's not where we go with it. It's we felt that this was a good player. We had an opportunity to get a quarterback, what we think has a chance to be a good quarterback down the road. Hard to do when you're a good football team, to be able to put yourself in that position to do that. So when you have a chance to strike, you better strike on it. And then now you go do your job, right? You go do your job and you play your tail off, have the best year of your life. That's how we roll.
He mentioned you're in the quarterback room every day. What impresses you about how he's mentoring Patrick?
Yeah, so listen, that's not his job to do that, but he's going to share things. I'm not asking him to go and mentor Patrick, but that room is a phenomenal room, is what that room is. So there's a lot of teaching going on. There's a lot of communication going on. There's an open forum.
Obviously, it's a lot different talking about it in the off season versus now you're in training camp and have this young gun looking over your shoulder. How strange, if at all, was that initially, the dynamic?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think it's even more awkward initially. Like you said, it's new. You don't totally know each other yet. I think the really nice thing has been to come up here in camp. We're away. We're hanging out with each other. As quarterbacks, we're with each other all day. You know, and I think with that, even going back to this whole competing thing, like, it's nice just to, like, get down to the essence of, like, who we really are and get to know each other and, like, eliminate all that BS. And it's just us. And it's nice. You get to kind of build a relationship, really, right? And we're teammates. And, yeah, we competed everything, and we're going. And yeah, he's just, young and talented. And and he's there, and I think you can almost just embrace it. You know what I'm saying? You can almost talk about it, and kind of it becomes less awkward, you know, because it's there. You know it. Everybody knows it, and let's just move on, right? So I think everybody would agree, all the quarterbacks included, and even the team. Just it's been nice to come up here and just get to football and like everybody get to know each other, and all those kind of barriers and walls kind of get broken down, and you just go, right? Everybody puts the team first, and we're rolling. It's been nice, same thing even within the quarterback room, to kind of break all that down. He and I can get to know each other and just kind of roll, right? Accept it for what it is, right? None of us chose it, you know, and we're in it, and let's go. Let's make the most of it. And so I think that's been good. I think that's been the nice thing about coming up here to camp.